to the podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to speak on how to identify a smokescreen. And it is a tough situation, what I have to talk about today, but sometimes we do have to speak about the rougher realities of life. So before I get into it, I have 3 styles of episodes. Today's episode is a rant, essentially, me expressing my inner dialogue, talking about something that I know is going to provide value for you. I also do conversations with like-minded individuals. I don't call them interviews because they're not interviews. I ask some questions, but for the most part, we're just having a conversation, trying to learn and share value. And third, you could send in any questions, any topics that you would like me to speak about. Shoot me an email at askjustin@myyahoo.com, and I'll address the quality questions, the good questions. The bad ones get ignored, but the good questions will be addressed via threads, podcast episodes, and videos. So let's get into this. How to identify a smokescreen. So the first point is you want to look for polarized narratives. And what I mean by this is when the networks, the distribution news companies are getting very emotional with the words that they're using, the language, and with the pawns that they have on the televisions reading the teleprompters. So these narratives, they'll come out, they'll sound like this. If you don't do this, you are blank. Anyone who does this is blank. They are trying to label you and put you in a box because you are not agreeing with their narrative. See, humans have so much similarities, but we also have differences, and every human is going to have things that we don't exactly agree upon, and that is acceptable. We do not have to agree on everything, but we also should be able to look for common ground, to have difficult conversations where maybe we don't agree, but to carry out these conversations in a respectable manner, where we are listening, looking at the other person like they know something that we don't. And the biggest issue with the polarized narratives is this group think, this labeling of individuals. When we think as a group, there are surely benefits that can come from that, but we are sovereign individuals. Humanity is created by one universal creator, but at the same time, every single human should have the ability to go through their life and to come to their own conclusions. When we label people, let's give a real life example. In high school, I labeled myself an athlete, and therefore that label made me perceive myself as someone who was not intellectual, someone who didn't really have anything to do with the mind. And how wrong is that? Just because you're good at using your physical body, I completely took myself out of any intellectual activities. Like, I played chess. But the point is, this label, for the most part, was disempowering. It kept me from reading and writing and educating myself. It kept me from perceiving myself as someone who should be learning every day. I was learning about physical acts like sports and football positions, defensive covers and plays. All of that is still intellectual, but I was missing out on so much due to the label. I hope that makes sense. Whenever you label yourself, even if it's a label that is admirable, you are subtracting from your potential. Don't label yourself. Instead, take on this idea that you are an individual, that you are following your natural curiosities, that you have unlimited potential, in that it doesn't matter who says what. It's up to you to choose where you want to go, who you want to become, and you do this by specifically being intentional with your days, choosing your environment. If you don't want to be a cocaine addict, don't hang around people who do cocaine. Simple, okay? And lastly, before we transition, we always should maintain a healthy dose of skepticism. So I'm not talking paranoia. I'm not talking anxiety. I'm not talking being some worried fool all the time. Healthy skepticism is simply questioning and thinking for yourself. So if you see something on the news, you see something on social media, you don't just take it as true. You question that. You look at the statement and you kind of just go through your mind, wondering, pondering, at least taking a couple minutes to think, to critically analyze the pros, the cons, the meaning, the motivation behind the message. How does it make you feel? How does it make the messenger feel? And is it a positive or a negative message? Just these simple little acts of questioning and investigating. You will only grow and become more intelligent when you have a bit of skepticism. So let's transition into the hidden agendas. So a smokescreen is hiding something. What is it hiding? These agendas. So we'll start off with a common example that I do enjoy. I don't know if that came out. I could rephrase, but I'll explain. This idea that guns are bad. So what happens? You take away guns from the population for protection. We're protecting people. But what happens when we look back at history, when the population, the civilians, are defenseless and have no guns? Well, most of the time, that leads to communism. It leads to a power, hunger dictator, or someone like Stalin, Lenin, or Hitler. These individuals who are simply, not simply, because it's a very complex psychological situation, but these individuals, they went from communist to murdering so many people. How did the victims get murdered? They had no form of defense. So let me make this clear. I am not saying that every random person should be able to get their hands on a gun. I think maybe we need to raise our criteria or do more investigation upon the licensing or how you earn the right to have a gun. But without defense mechanisms, oh my gosh, genocide will occur once more. I don't know why. Well, some people do learn from history. A lot of humans are learning from history. But there's a lot of people who act like this stuff in the 20th century did not happen. Okay? In 1919 to 1957, there were 60 million Russian civilians murdered. They were murdered not for crimes, for simple things. An example, a little kid picks up some wheat off the ground that was dropped on the road. She gets 20 years in a concentration camp. What? Yeah, that stuff happened. And see, we all know about the Holocaust, but not many of us know about the gulags of Archipelago. Why is that? Why does our school curriculum not educate Americans on the fact that 60 million Russians were murdered by Lenin and Stalin over a 40-year period? It's more than 1 million Russians per year murdered. They don't teach that in our school systems. I wonder why. Okay, I think I know why. It's because they want communism once more. I hope I'm wrong. Really hope I'm wrong, but that's just what my intuition leads me to. And let's hop onto another hidden agenda. So we have climate change. And okay, we know this is a fact, that there is a island the size of Texas made of plastic inside of our oceans. That's a fact. And I think plastic should be reduced. We should use glass for drinking as much as we possibly can. We should not be using plastic unless it is completely necessary. But here's where the hidden agenda comes in. So you have climate change, and now they want to transition to digital everything. The reasoning behind this transition is oh, well, petroleum, these cars, their exhaust systems are polluting the world and raising the climate. And if we don't switch from gasoline cars to electric cars quickly, the whole world's gonna burn into flames, and the climate's gonna be unlivable. But the reality behind that, they have a hidden agenda. See, there are problems in our world, and I definitely know that humans have not treated our environment the best that they could have. But this is a hidden agenda, because let's think big picture now. You switch to electric cars and you switch to digital everything, digital wallets. That means the government, the powers that be, number one, they can shut off your electric car anytime they want. Number two, they have the control to shut down your buying power if you have a digital wallet. So what's that mean? Let's say Justin says a sentence, a paragraph on Twitter, on Instagram, in a video, in words that the government does not like, the fact checkers are not a fan of. Well, there you go, Justin. You cannot purchase food anymore. And actually, your whole bank account's locked. You can't spend any money, and you can't earn any money either. Do you understand the slippery slope that this is? And it's absolutely mind-blowing that people don't see a bit deeper. But I don't want to end this podcast, this episode, installing fear into you, because there is a solution, and the solution comes down to you. You becoming the best individual, becoming an excellent person yourself. That's the only way that you can fight back against this potential genocide of America. It's the only way. And let me break this down. So never before have we had such an amazing opportunity at our hands. You see, there have been books for a long time. There has been written language for a long time. We have never before had the opportunity to share powerful messages all across the world in the click of a finger, and have everyone read and become wise. So it's not only the opportunity to create, to you yourself impact other people, but there is this abundant amount of wisdom on the internet for free. See, I think college has its purpose for specific skills, specialized knowledge. It's cool. But YouTube University is free, and you stay out of debt that way. But there are billionaires and millionaires. You know, I'm not talking the guy who has $1 million and a stock Lamborghini. I'm talking the guy who has 50 mil, 100, or billions. They are on YouTube putting out free content, sharing everything that they know for free. Never before have we had the opportunity to become as wise as we can, or as wise as I did not phrase that properly. Well, we can end off here. What I want to leave you with is, do not be easily manipulated. And the guide to becoming strong, to becoming confident in your thinking, in who you are, let's leave you with an actual piece of advice. I would say you want to focus. Let's say you don't train at all right now. Start small, 15, 30 minutes a day, whatever volume you want. A little bit less processed food, a little bit more protein. Let's say you're further down the road. You want to eliminate added sugars. You want to eat clean, because eating clean correlates to a clean and clear mind. So what can I really leave you guys with? I would say, out of these 3 activities, pick one and start doing it consistently. Either a 10-minute daily meditation, a 15 to 60-minute intense training session, or a 5-minute nightly journal where you either write about your wins, your gratitude, your limiting beliefs. So one of those 3. And yeah, I appreciate you. If this was valuable, all I ask, just take literally 10 seconds, hop on Spotify and drop me a star rating. It's that simple. It's quick. It's easy. It helps get the reach out there. And I appreciate you. Just share it with a friend, drop a rating, and thank you so much. Have a great day.